Welcome back to Whatever You Need, the channel where emotions, stories, and truth intertwine. If you're someone who believes that love, despite heartbreak, can still shine through kindness, then you're in the right place. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, tap the join button if you'd like to support our growing family, and drop a like if you believe love can still heal even the deepest wounds. Now, let's step into the tender world of Barış Arduç, a man whose heartache didn't dim his grace, but rather illuminated the beauty of sincerity. The cameras had just stopped rolling. The echoes of the commercial set were fading when Barış Arduç, with that familiar gentle smile, faced the waiting microphones. His eyes, though a little tired, carried a serenity that only comes after walking through the storm. Recently, the handsome actor has been under the spotlight not because of a new role, but due to the quiet sadness surrounding his breakup. Yet, instead of bitterness or withdrawal, Arduç offered something the world rarely sees anymore: compassion, gratitude, and admiration, not for himself but for others. As journalists gathered, one question pierced the silence: "Barış, how is your heart these days?" He paused for a moment, looked down, and answered softly, "Sometimes the heart just needs time to heal." It was a simple sentence, but it carried the weight of 1,000 emotions. However, what truly moved everyone that day wasn't what he said about himself. It was what he said next about Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin, the beloved couple whose chemistry continues to fascinate millions. Hande and Kerem are one of the most genuine couples I've ever seen, Barış said, his tone calm yet deeply heartfelt. There's an honesty in the way they look at each other, a natural harmony that can't be faked. It's beautiful that something that started on set turned into something so real. They're perfect together, not just as actors but as people. Those words spread across the internet like wildfire. Within hours, fans flooded social media platforms, praising not only Arduç's kindness, but also his rare emotional maturity. Comments such as "He's a true gentleman," "A man who admires instead of envies," and "Barış reminds us that empathy still exists in show business," became top trending phrases of the day. Even those who had no particular interest in celebrity news couldn't help but feel touched. His sincerity broke through the noise of gossip, transforming what could have been another tabloid interview into a quiet lesson about empathy. Before we continue, if stories of emotional depth and human connection move you as much as they move us, don't forget to hit subscribe to Whatever You Need. Your likes, your comments, and your support keep these heartfelt stories alive. Now, let's return to the man who proved that heartbreak doesn't harden the heart, it softens it. According to those close to him, Barış Arduç has been going through a reflective period. He spends time alone, keeping a low profile, yet his words that day revealed something remarkable: that solitude hadn't made him bitter, it had made him wiser. He reportedly told friends, "When you've known real love, you don't lose faith in it. You start to see it everywhere, even in others' happiness." This perspective shone brightly during his interview. When Arduç spoke of Hande and Kerem, it wasn't the voice of a man haunted by jealousy or regret. It was the voice of someone who had looked love in the eye, lost it, and yet still believed in its beauty. "When you love someone," he continued, "that love teaches you to believe not just in your own story, but in others' stories too. When I see Hande and Kerem, I feel that warmth again. Their smiles, their hugs, those aren't performances. That's what real connection looks like." These lines resonated like poetry across social media. Fans shared clips of the interview over and over again. Some wrote, "Barış doesn't speak, he feels, and we all feel with him." Others said, "His words sound like they were written for a movie, but they came from a real man's heart." Tabloid headlines the next day read, "The gentleman who turned heartbreak into grace." Barış Arduç's manifesto of love. Even journalists, often quick to chase sensationalism, described the actor as a man whose eyes carry both pain and hope. One reporter noted that when he paused for a few seconds after speaking, gazing into the distance, it felt as if he was revisiting his own memories, but this time, with peace instead of sorrow. What makes this moment so special isn't merely his praise for another couple, it's the quiet revolution behind it. In an industry often driven by rivalry, envy, and the endless need to stay relevant, Barış Arduç chose empathy. He reminded us that kindness doesn't make a person weak, it makes them timeless. Behind the cameras, sources reveal that Arduç has been rediscovering himself after his breakup. Friends say he's reading more, writing again, and taking long walks by the sea. He speaks of love now not as something to be conquered, but something to be understood. That's perhaps why his words about Hande and Kerem felt so genuine. They were reflections of his own rebirth. When Erçel and Kerem Bürsin heard about his remarks, their response was equally heartfelt. Through close friends, Hande expressed her gratitude, saying she was deeply touched by Barış's kindness. Kerem, in turn, commented that Barış is a rare soul, not many can speak with such sincerity. Together, their reactions completed the circle of warmth. In a world where public statements often feel rehearsed, this exchange of genuine respect felt refreshing, almost cinematic in its purity. What about you, dear viewers? Do you believe that heartbreak can lead to deeper compassion? Have you ever admired someone else's love story even while healing your own heart? Share your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear your perspective. And while you're here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and if you wish to go the extra mile, tap the join button to support whatever you need. Because your presence keeps this space of honesty and warmth alive. As the day of the interview ended, Barış turned to leave, but before walking away, he looked at the crowd and said softly, "Never stop believing in love. Sometimes hearts break, but love always endures." Those words became headlines the next morning, quoted, shared, and cherished. They weren't just the reflection of a celebrity's private pain, they were a universal truth. Every now and then, a moment appears that reminds us what humanity still looks like, raw, tender, and real. Barış Arduç gave us that moment. And that's all for today's story, dear friends. If this touched your heart, remember, on whatever you need, we don't just talk about fame, we explore the emotions behind it. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and tap the join button if you want to support our community of heartfelt storytelling. Until next time, keep believing, keep feeling, and above all, keep loving. This is Whatever You Need, signing off with gratitude and warmth.